This is Jared with Upcoming Fitness. Welcome to the Get Better and Stay Better program. This program is going to teach you how to heal your body from the inside out. I want you to pay particular close attention to this first slide here. In this slide, you'll see this X pattern, this like little hourglass figure across these two men. Understanding this relationship within the body is going to be key to really learning to understand how your body works, how it creates strength and structure, and a lot of the principles we're going to use to heal your body from the inside out. Remember this X, it's going to keep popping up. So this is just an overview of the program, but this is going to get you started. Kind of get your mind moving around again, this X, this little kind of like hourglass figure. And so what the body does is it uses what we call contralateral or left to right forces, left to right, top to bottom, force coupling. So basically this shoulder working with this hip, this shoulder working with this hip, and actually going into this shoulder working with this foot, and this shoulder working with this foot. It does it on a micro scale with the neck. So when this shrinks, the head actually moves up and forward. When this shrinks, the head actually pulls down, right? So when people have like a forward lean to their head, and this is tight and their chin is kind of pulled up, you actually see this getting tighter. And believe it or not, the chest will actually get tighter too in this area. So these things will go hand in hand. And this will all come into play later on. And that what this basically tells you, this means if one shoulder is off, all movement is off. And this is really illustrated well by this. So we think of it like a chain of dominoes, right? So because the body's always trying to balance things out with these forces, when this shoulder drops down, this hip that it works with along this X also will drop down. And as this hip drops down, you see it also touches that foot. All of this, the knee caves in, and then the foot falls out and turns out. It's just so really like it's a domino. So this falls, then this collapses, and this collapses. Or you could say the same thing is true. If the hip collapses, then the shoulder over here falls, and this knee caves in, and all of these things happen just like this chain of dominoes here. So understanding that a pain in my shoulder can eventually lead to a pain in my knee, that a pain in my knee will cause compensation in my shoulder and in my spine. If you look at this spine, it's also crooked as well. Then you can really get how the body's interrelated, and then why sometimes when you talk about knee pain, we will be looking here and up into this area to solve your knee issues. All right, sorry about that, I had a little glitch. All right, so here we are. When the X is off, pain is caused. So going back into that X pattern, which you don't see here, is that basically that whole dominoes effect, right? So these are three pictures of three different pelvises. Each one is slightly tilted into a bad position. These are all actually, this is what they call anterior pelvic tilt. This is a really forward shifted pelvis, a sway back, and this is just kind of like a regular tilted pelvis. All of these are different postural abnormalities that will eventually work their way up and down your chain and cause different pains in the neck and in the back. And sometimes both of these conditions here, a matter of fact, all three will be related to, you'll have some back pain. The spinal position is off. But there are different causes in the back pain, so each one requires a different solution. Understanding what tensions are created in that X pattern will eventually lead us to know what we need to release and what we need to strengthen. Again, it's going to come into play, and it's like the key component to this program and to understanding exactly how your body is working and structured. All right, here we go. we're going to use a number of different methods to fix these issues. A lot of it does involve, you'll see someone here stretching, doing some strengthening and activation exercises in both of these. And a lot of it does working the left side with the right side, or vice versa in some way, shape, or form, where we're just trying to get one thing to release and the other thing to open up. So moving on, the first step to fixing these issues is actually stretching and releasing some tight muscles. You'll see 3 different pictures over here. These are all tools to help us in stretching and releasing. This third tool here is called a vibration plate, and this is actually Dwayne Wade. And gosh, I always forget this guy. He just wrote a book called Relentless. But he was Michael Jordan's trainer. Now he trains a lot of other top athletes, and he's working with Dwayne Wade here on a vibration plate. And this actually is a very sophisticated piece of equipment, but it does both. It releases and stretches muscles, but it also helps to activate and balance out. So this little machine will do actually all 3 steps of what we're going to talk about by just holding a position. It's a really great rehab and performance device. Do kind of need to know a little bit what you're doing with it, but it's almost dummy proof as far as helping people. So here's a picture or video of one of my clients working on both activation and stretching. He's moving this barbell, and because moving the barbell requires him to activate muscle, because it's a 45-pound barbell, and it's holding him down, it's allowing him to stretch, but it's also like activating his lats as he pulls down, and he's getting some good muscular contraction at the same time as stretching out, which we really like to do. We like to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, especially since the body really likes to stretch and relax as it opens. Let's see if I can't find my mouse here to click to the next. There we go. So we're going to pause and we're going to move forward. So how do we know what to stretch? This is where we need to know a little bit of anatomy and physiology. If you are getting this program as a trainer, we're going to get way deeper into the anatomy and physiology as far as understanding what muscles to release and what to relax. If you're buying it as a client and you're just working on one specific issue, we're going to keep it really simple. You'll get a lot of the major principles of the program, but we're really going to detail and tailor it to your specific issue. And for fixing that, just to keep it not too long, there are a whole lot more modules in the trainer version than there are in the individual client version. And we do want to get a little deeper into the science for trainers trying to learn this, to do this with their clients, than for a client with a specific issue where we can really just break down what's going on with you and teach you about your own body. Step 2 is activation. Now we're going to do a bunch of different drills to activate different muscles. As you see, this is the client again on that vibration plate. Again, it really helps work. This client had a shoulder issue, and so we're rehabbing the shoulder, we're doing some push-ups, we're doing a whole bunch of things. We're stretching and releasing and activating just by him holding that position on this plate. It's a great machine. And we don't always need that stuff. This is a client, just working with them in their home. Minimal equipment here. You just see the foam roller, little pull-up station, weights. This is really all you need, guys, to really change your body. And he's just holding what we call a hollow body position. He was someone who had back pain for a long time. I pretty much got rid of that for this guy. He was doing hiking and pull-ups and handstands and all kinds of crazy stuff by the time we were done. And then step 3 is to implement. So one thing I want you guys to understand is that if you're doing this program right, if you're going through the activation and the stretching and we're learning what to do, then we can get to the point where we can get into this, and we want to get into the point where we're implementing, where you're actually lifting heavy weights, because this is the portion where we really do the most learning. Everything else up into here is kind of just rehab stuff. This is what makes you functional again. This is what really, transforms the body. We get strong in good positions. I preach that all the time. We want to get strong in good positions. Now, we don't have to do heavy weightlifting. We can do things that are bodyweight related, some form of yoga or gymnastics or even martial arts, but you want to be able to control your own body weight plus in some awkward positions. And the benefit of that is if we are strong and stable under a load or in an awkward position, the likelihood of injury is less. That means that we really learned how to put the body in a good position and master that. That's the ultimate goal of this program, is implementation. We want to be able to use this new range of motion, this new strength. We don't just want to be pain-free. We want to be pain-free forever and never have the problems again. And that is step 3, implementation. That's it. And as pain goes away, performance goes up all the time, guys. If I am getting rid of pain, then I am going to perform better. That is simply it. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you're excited to begin on this program. Again, what package you pick determines how many modules you'll go through, how much you'll learn about the X pattern, and how in-depth we'll get. Hope you guys enjoy it. Take care.